Lead with thank you to the marketing department. I challenged them to try to have a big crowd on Saturday, and we absolutely did. It was great, largest crowd of the year. I thought we played well both games. Thursday and Saturday were very similar. I thought we were playing exceptionally hard. The difference between Thursday game was we were able to pull it out going into the fourth quarter tie. We were able to pull it out and make plays at the end. The difference in the Saturday game was we were only down 4 with 4.5 minutes to go, and we weren't able to make plays. We made 3 major errors there at the end. But they're playing hard. I think we got a tough road trip. It's really, really difficult for some reason. Every team I've ever coached has been very difficult when we go to Cullowhee to play at Western, and they're playing a lot better than they were when we played them first time around.
To that point about them playing tough, regardless, even in the loss against Chattanooga, to see your team doing what they're doing in terms of playing hard and maybe understanding the moment that's in front of them this last month, is that an encouraging thing for you to see at this point?
Yeah, I think they do. It's kind of strange when the calendar flips to February. It's very strange for a basketball coach because you always know what the month is after February, which is March, obviously, madness. And but these guys, they want to win. I think maybe some of them wanted to win a little bit. Sometimes you want to win too much, and it takes you out of your game a little bit. And I think that might have happened to some of them on Saturday. So we're just trying to figure out a happy median where they can be loose, because this is a very loose team, loose but yet focused. But we had a practice meeting. We didn't really practice. We met yesterday, lifted, and kind of got the pulse of the team, make sure that everybody's still okay. So far, I think we're okay.
Chattanooga, best defense in the conference. How much of that was their defense being really good, and how much of it was you guys maybe just struggling to get going?
It's so interesting to look at them because they have 2 of the best offensive players in the league, and I got to be careful how I word this answer, but I want to need bulletin board material for them. But they're a very small team, but they're so tough. And they're just tough, and you really can't coach toughness when you have tough players that are going to battle inside and push people outside the paint, and they are a very good defensive team. And I don't think they look as good on film as they are in person. When you get them on person, it's like, I do think that we maybe took some questionable shots in that game. I think that attributed to some of our shooting percentage as well.
Given how consistent both Stacey and Mackenzie were really inside for you at the beginning of the season, I know Summer kind of bailed them out in that one against ETSU with her big performance, but how important is that inside presence for you going forward to get Stacey going again like that?
That's what we've been preaching, man. I mean, we don't feed the post well enough. We don't pass the ball when they're open, and we talked about that all game. Like, get them. We had a plan. We wanted to get Stacey the ball for obvious reasons, but we didn't get her the ball enough. And so I'm not exactly sure, but if we're going to need to have an inside game for our outside game to be effective, but we need to be inside. And I've not said this in 14 years, but we need to be inside out for sure this year.
Is that a unique, maybe challenging difference for you as a coach of this team this year? I know you've had a few firsts this year with this team, but is that another one of those maybe?
What's the challenge?
Being able to play inside out like that?
Not for me. I mean, I've coached other places where we've had great post presence, so it's just something we haven't had here necessarily. But I'm very confident and capable of having a post game, I think, and just need the guards around them to get them the ball.
And the last thing for me, going on the road, you mentioned it's tough to win at Western. How do we keep this going moving forward on the road and then come back and hopefully finish with some momentum at home?
Well, the first step is to not allow them to look at the score of our last game versus them and think that we can just show up. One of the worst favorite stories I've got is and I keep alluding to our 30-3 team, but that team went up there, and the first quarter it was 16-0, 16-0 Western Carolina over us. And so none of those guys care about that, but I know it's a hard place to play, and we just got to focus on us more so at this point than the opponent most of the time. We got to really just hone in on ourselves.
Susie, you guys have had Chattanooga and you've been in position both times you played them this year to beat them in the fourth quarter. What did you see this time around that maybe you didn't see the first time around? And what is missing, do you think, in order to do that home to get a W?
Well, the first time around, the final score probably wasn't as close as the game was. Not that close. The final score was closer than the game. This time we actually did have a chance, I think, to win. I think what we've got to be able to do, quite bluntly, is you got two players, Jada Gwynn and Raven Thompson, that score 44 points of their 61. You got to be able to guard those two players. Now, they've got other players around them as well, but you cannot have two players go off like that. And then us not score. One night we score, in the 80s, and then next night we score in the 50s. We can't ride this roller coaster and be successful. So that would be my.
And then another question: a few Mondays ago, when you weren't in the Susie Gardner mood that you're normally in, but what's changed with your team since that week?
Yeah, I just think that whenever they lose, they get more focused, and when they win, they get all. We're great, we've arrived, and it's been kind of a roller coaster ride this year, and not necessarily basketball world, but it's just the whole general dynamics of it is getting them to be a little bit more mature and take ownership every single day, and not just be all hyper and happy. And we're a Division I basketball team. You have to have a certain kind of focus and a mentality. The mentality is what we are a little bit inconsistent with.